No te explico qué pasó. No, no te explico. Bye. ¿Yo no llega el león? No te explico. Bye. ¿Y qué pasa con el león? ¿Qué pasa? Ajá. ¿Qué no tengo yo? Como diciendo, no te voy a dar.
Creo que es una pregunta.
Sí.
Si uno quiere algún vehículo de ahí, primero del live, ¿uno se lo vende?
No.
No, tiene que pasar por la
Vamos a la subasta.
pura subasta, si no, no se lo.
Todos los vehículos.
Sí.
Sí.
No, pero no saben, como por ejemplo los que están allá que todavía no ponen, no saben cuántos van a poner.
Todos necesitan ir en la subasta.
Pero digo, no se sabe para cuándo, que están allá que no están pues.
Hay veces que los vehículos están aquí por evidencia o algo así, entonces.
Tiene que hasta que taque eso.
Sí.
Ahí estamos, pues gracias.
I had an online ticket for the bus, so.
All right, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome here to Keystone Coin, our weekly Thursday. If you have any issues, let me know. We'll do what we can to get you back on track, okay? Keep in mind, everything else is sold on lien sale paperwork unless we tell you otherwise, in which case we may be entitled to it or have to sell these titles. Ours are coming with keys, so you do not charge for those, so we have to make a key in order to start a vehicle by that key charge will be added on to the purchase price, so be very careful there, and don't forget about that, okay? Once we say sold on the car, you need to stand up out of your seat there, and you will come up to the window where you registered and complete the transaction. All right, we'll give you till, you can't get into the car tonight, don't panic, we'll give you a 12 tomorrow to get your vehicle out, online people. We will start taking your payments 8 a.m. in the morning, and we'll give you till 12 as well to get your vehicles out, okay? You keep in mind, everything we auction is sold on lien sale paperwork, well, I already said that, didn't I? It's sold in its as-is condition, exactly the way it came into the yard. Okay, no guarantees, warranties of any kind, either express or implied, as to make the model year, the color, nor anything else, okay? All right. Somebody was asking about that, and for BMW out there, it is, under, 48.
It's 43.
43, I'm sorry. They get 43, car 43, okay? Cross that off.
So just give me a heads up, we're starting at number 2, which is the highlighter. So the first one went online.
Okay. Perfect, thank you, sir. Okay, anybody with that motorcycle out there? All right, guess what, the online already got it there for $200, so we'll just cross that off here and go. Number 2, okay, we're ready to go. When you're ready, I'm ready. Everybody else ready? Okay. All right, guys, here we go. Number 2 car is in. Here's a 06 with a Highlander. $30 key charge. And this one, it does run, guys. Rides and drives. I got about 800. They got about 4 or 5. I got 5 of the record 6, 7. I got 7 and I'll be 800 and I'll be here. Give me half. How about 7 and a half, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half, 75. 8 and a quarter, and a half, 8 and a half, 75. 8, 75, 9, 9, now a quarter, now a half. And a half, and a quarter here, and a half. About half, now 75, now 1,000, now a quarter. And a quarter here, need a quarter here, the back row. A quarter down here, half there, now 75, there goes 75, return. About 75, 1,100, and now a quarter, now a half, now 75, and 12. About 12, now a quarter, and a quarter here, 12 and a quarter, and a half. About 12 and a half. I would have over here at 15 now, 75, there we go, 75, 13, not quarter, and not quarter, you need a quarter, what do you say? 13, 25, 13, 50, now 75, how about 75, 75, return, about 75, 14, you get a 14, 13, 75, to that up. Anybody get 14? How about 14? 14, I think Aaron wants it. I got 14 and a quarter. And a quarter and a half. 14 and a half, your turn. 14 and a half, 75, 15 and a half, 15 and a half. Keep this in one. How about 15, 50, 16? 16, hey, wake up, your turn. 16. How about 16 and a half? How about a half? He's 16 up front. 16 and a half. And now 17, we're gonna go 17, we're gonna go 17, good thing I cancel my haircut right now. How about 17 here, we're going to sell it, plan the back. For 16.50, yes sir, my number is 128 divided, there we go. Now here's number 3, here's a note for There you go. Number 3 now, right? Here's the old Ford Mitsubishi Eclipse Player. And I gotta tell you, very one feature, this one that does run 2 doors on the back, bigger or not, and we can say here, who brought down some. I got 3, 3 got a quarter, 3 and a half. I got 350, 50, 75, I'm gonna go 75, and a $400 and a quarter. And a quarter, and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half on mine, now 75, now 5. And a 5, and a quarter, 45, 50, gotta go 50, 75. How about 75 cents, 600, he says, my quarter, and my quarter, why not? How about 6 and a quarter, 6 over there, 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here, no, we saw it, tank. $600, put them on number 8 to my price of 600 is number 4. Is it 2013? Hey, some of the car, guys. Put on how they manage, sugar around, those, I got down to go 5, 2, 3, 4. We got 4, 5. I got 5, level 6. How about 600 here, 700 here, we go 7, 7 here, 7 here, we need $800. I'm gonna be getting a money, we go money down here, we need half. 8 and a half, 8 there, 8 and a half, a half, 9, now half, now 1,000, and 1,000, and 1,000, me, and 1,000 to go, 9 and a half here, 1,000, 75, 55, now 1,000. Now 1,000, now a quarter. And that quarter, Ken's over here on site now. How much in the quarter, B a quarter, B a quarter, do a quarter, what do you say, in the round, and we have quarter, half,
Oh, you got a quarter?
I do, and I have, missing one. And what I'm at 50, 75, gonna go 75, and I found 75, 75, you're coming to 50. I found 75, and we have several things. Oh, 1,050 sketches number there. You want to see them? Here with us? Uno. Ándale, what's your number? 144, okay, fine, there we go, come on up. Here we go, guys, up here at the window. Here we go, number 5, 2010, Nissan Maxima car, 135, what I can charge, somebody get down and say. I have found to go, the time to go, we're gonna get back into here, 5, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 5. And the final here, 500 down here, 75, not 5, not 40. A quarter, 100, 50, 50, 75, not say 600 down 6, why not? And down 6, and now a quarter, and now a quarter, where's the move up? How much 6 1/4, 6 1/4 here, we sort of think. 600, number 6 is behind, right? Here we go, number 6, here comes number 3. Hey, we end up with the iron model, we go, and then figure it out. He said, well, you take that much, fifty here, give me quarter, a quarter, half, I got a half, and a half, here, need a half, these three, quarter, 3, 50 here, no, 75, now 4. About $400 here, now quarter, and a half, right here, and that was 75. About 75, now 5, 500, and a 5 here, 5 and a quarter. And a quarter here, wrong side of 5, 5 and a quarter. About a quarter, no, 100 here, 50 here, no, 75. About 75, we're gonna go by 75, say it, 600, he says, 575 on line. About 600, 600, you're gonna go 600, 600, 600 here, and I said, okay. 75, number 6 here, there we go, there you go. Here, all right, it does not. You know, if you charge for this one, we put about 900. How about 900 bucks? He said 4.5, 5. And I got 5. I'm not 5, I'm gonna go 5 here, 75. And now 5, not 40, now half, 75, now 6. How about 6, now quarter, 6 1/4? And that quarter, you're in the 6 here, 6 1/4, 6.5, half, 75, now 7 1/4, and a half, 7.5, is that it? 7.5, 7.5, 75. And E, how about E, you're gonna go wait, money 775, 800. How about 800, 800 down here, 8 half, 8 1/4, no half, and a half, give me half, what's your number? 850, don't look at your phone, look at me, give me half, give it a half. Hey, that's a 50, and I'm on the solid time. 8.25, I'm on number 8. Um, we got number 8. Here's the 8. Good on, automatic. Just stay the ride, and we're gonna go down here, we're gonna find time. I have the 18.5, 9, no, I have the pound, 8.5, here, give me quarter, 75. No, that's 75, 11, no half, and one, by 1, that is, euros, no half, no 13, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16, 16, no half, 17, how about 17, no half, 18, 18 and a half, 19 and a half, and 2 grand, you get 2 online first, no half. I got a half, now 1, now half, are you ready? 21 and a half, 22, 2 and a half, now 3. About 23, money's 22 and a half there, 3 there, and a half. They got 23, 3 and a half, now 4, now half, now 5, 25 and a half, and 6 and a half, 26 and a half. 26 out of about 50, 50 plus 7, about 50, now 8, and 50 and 9, 29, there we go, 9, 29, 29, is that a yes? And now half, and now 3. 3 grand, 31, number 31, 2, you're gonna get 2, 32, I got 32, I can't take that now, 31, 32, give me 2, 3, 4, 34, 1 is 33, I can't see, 34, okay, now 5, 31, 34, 35, now 6, now 7, 37, 38, 39, $39, poker table now, guys, I have 30 on the side. 39, how about 39 now, $4 grand, we're gonna go $4 grand, 41. How about 41? 41 to the number, forwards over here, how about 41? How about 41 to the number, 41 here, we have total pay, that 4 times and even, 4 times and even, what's your number there? Let me see, each, find out. No, I hear number 9. I'm sitting, all right, four going, how they ready, straight to the right, give me 1,000. How about 1,000 to go, 5 to go, we're gonna go 5, 4, 5, 6, I get 7, 8, 9. How about now we're doing 1,000, and 1,000 to go, 1,000 to go, $1,000 here and then 9. They got half that, half, not 1,000. I got 9 and a half on mine, 75, 1,000, not quarter, I got, you got 10? 10 and a quarter, 75. You guys better wake up, 75, not 11, not quarter. A quarter, no hand, 75 and 12. The 12 there, over another, quarter, no hand, 75. Number 75 and 13, 13, not quarter here, hand here, 13, 50. And 75, there goes 75, hand 14, not quarter. And the quarter right here, hand here, 75, 15, 15, now half. I got a hand, 50, 50, $50 poker table, 15 and a half, 16, now half. I'm gonna have 16, 50, and that 50, 50 money's over there at 16, 16, and that 50, that 50, 50, and now 17, 17, now half, 18, 18, now half, 18 and a half, how about 19, gonna go 19, how about 19, gonna go 19, everybody else, so 1900, 1900, and we have, super fan, 18, 50, 18, 50, and we'll catch it. 55, 55, there's a month. Roller car. All right. So, we're gonna do now. All right, here we go. Yes, sir. Let's see how much time. Are you gonna give me about time? Here, two and a half, big trade. How much trade? You gotta get trade, no? Nobody wants you? I'll get trade, now half. How about a half? I'll do it right here in the front. Three and a quarter? How much trade and a quarter and a quarter and a half? Not 75. And quarter, and a quarter, and a half. How about 4 and a half, 4 and a half, right here, you got 75, you gotta go 75, go 75, right here. And 500, you guys roll off. How about 5 and a quarter, 75, 5 and a quarter, 575, you gotta go 5 and a quarter, 5 is over here. How about 5 and a quarter, right here, and a half, 550, and then 50, 50, you gotta go 50, 50, 550, what do you say? Now, what I do, how about a hand here, we sold it for 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter. If I remember, you want us, I just want to come on up, okay? Hey, let's check it out here, guys. Four of how they managed to arrive. He sandwich type of guy. They to get 5. I got 5. He said, leave my 3, use my quarter, and a half. Then a hundred, he said, we 75 over 400 and a quarter. Where you gonna give me a quarter and a half, or 75? And 5, now a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 75. But 75, now there's 5 and a half over here. 75 on the line, now 6, now a quarter. And a quarter on side at 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter? Okay, now 75, here goes 675, 6 and a half. How about 675, 7 here and a quarter. And a quarter, I got 7 here on site now, 7 and a quarter, okay, now 75. How about 75, we're gonna go 75, and now 800 and a quarter. And a quarter, back on site at 8 and a quarter. And a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, down here, we're going to start at 10. $800 to buyer under 8, 9 under 400. Deals on. And we don't have a administrator around 800. What about you four? How much over there? 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 75. How about 75 over 400 down 3, 75, 4, quarter now, half, no 75. How about 75, 500 on site, not quarter, and a quarter. And a half here, 50, 50, 5 over 0, 9, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 75. How about 75 here, 75, 6. How about six? How about quarter? 6.25. He's in at 6 on site. How about 6 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4? Yes or no? 6 1/4. And we have solar tank right there at 600. 600. Sir, what's your number, mate? Buyer is sold at 122, 123, there. Here we go. 15. 14, you might not be pretty sorry. It's $4 automatic, salvage title guys, I'm ready fine, what do you say? I get everything 100. How about we get about 4.5, 5, 75 on the quarter? How about on the quarter, no hand, 50, 75, and 75, 6, 36, and a quarter, and a hand, that's 75. And now 700, you gotta go 7, and a quarter, and a half. I got a half, 75, 75, 800, 8 on mine, a quarter, 25, got a half, that's 75, 75. That's 75, 900. I got 9, a quarter, 25, now half, 9.5. How about 59, 75, you gotta go 75, that's 75, $1,000. And that's down to go, one down to go, $1,000, $3,000, $1,000, we have solar tank. Mine is 75, and, let's see right there. He's in line, 123 to mile, right? Fine, here we got number 14, 73 card. Right? Well, on the nine side, title here, we get 300. How about four? You know, four, you said three quarter. And that quarter, you know, you know, 75, you're gonna go 75, we're gonna have some site. That's 75, four, one quarter. Now, that quarter, you score, okay, you know, that's 75. But 75, I can do that quarter, by 75, let's say a 5. But 5 1/4, which is every quarter. Now, I got that, 75, maybe 75. I said, I have over here, I'm a 575, solar tank, 550, number 4, 550, number 4, all right, all right, here's number 15, here we go, yeah, here we go. Yeah, you're gonna have to stay a couple nights to make that one work. All right, here we go, somebody got time, here, time about 5, you want 5? 5.5. I have 5.5, 5 1/4. How about 5 1/4, 5 no, we sold it. At 500, number 6 to buy, or here's 16, here's 98. Right? He says 3 quarters. I have 3 there you go. I'll pick up we have a 50, and I. Silver pen, 325, right here in the front. 61 a mile, here's. For the stretch, cut the price in half. How about 400, not 40, now half. How about 150, 54, 50, what do you say? 4 1/4, 4.5, 75, 75, 5. How about 5? I have 75 on the site, 85, guys. How about 5? Okay, 1/4, I'm gonna have it, like I say, 1/4, I'm gonna have. How about 5.5? Okay, now 75, 600. How much 6 above, 36. How much 600? 600, you're gonna go 600, and we have 6 1/4, and a quarter, and a half, and a half. I have a quarter on site, 6.5 days. How much? Right? You don't have that many, what do you say on that one? Yeah, you can take that. Hey, how about, $500? Great. How about 3 1/4 and a quarter, here, give you a quarter and a half. How about half? How about 350, 50, you're gonna go. On that, they would get 800, they have what's on there, and I got 4, and I got 3.5. 3.5, and not 4, how about 4, you're gonna get 400. How about 4, 75, he says, now 4. 4, now quarter, on the side of 4, need a quarter. How about 4 1/4, no, and here's 75, we're gonna go 75. How much $75, $500 and a quarter, $525, 80 times 10, 80 quarter times 75, 6. How much 6? 600? How much 6 and a half? 6 and a quarter, and a half, 6 and a half. This is what I now 75. 75. How much 75? Money's online, 6 and a half. 675, 675. Who said yeah? There it is, now 7. How much 7? Yeah, he's hiding in the back. 6, 75, 7. How much 7? We're gonna go 7, we're gonna go 700, we're gonna go 70, and then we stop at 10. For 675, what do you got back? 115, 115 is some 20, as I was saying. Hey, for a lot of money, so we say, got a big stretch on the right side there. Those some though. All right, man. And probably grab it right off the lot. There we go. Each one's a good buddy 100, 800 bucks, 400 bucks, 4.5 hours. I gotta go find a greater time. I got 5 now, half. 5.5, 6, what is 6? 6, 7.5, and 7. And now 7.5, 7.5, and 800 now, half, now 9. But now, now, 50, and $1,000 now, $1,050, gonna go 50, 50, and 50 here a quarter. How about quarter and a quarter and a quarter down here, we're gonna have here down 75. How about side here? 10 and a half, 10.75, 10.75, 10.75, 75, and I'm going to sell it, thanks. 1,050, and we'll put it on the E. Right here, 21. Right, for the hundred and what do you say now? I got time to go, time to go, here we go 5, 3, 3.5, 4, 3.5, and 5. And time to do 4, and have it up and up higher, 5, no higher, 5.5. And 6, 600, no higher, 650, 50%, 700. And that's 700, give me 675, 75, 7, 7 on 9, a quarter, no higher. And a half, 75, 75, 800, 8, now a quarter, 825, 8's here. I'm gonna 825, 825, and 825, and we have quarter half and a half, I got a half on site, we got a half, 75, 9, be 9. I'm not 9 get a less than a quarter, on site at 9, 9 and a quarter and a half. I'm gonna have 950, and that 15 no 75, gonna go 975, 9 and a half's over here. You got 75? I got 9 and a half here. Give me 975, now 1,000, and 1,000, yes sir. And 1,000, we need back, now a quarter, we change his line, I got 10. 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half. How about a half, 50, 50,000, 25,050, we go 50, 50, and a 50, and 50 here, we are going to sell it 10. For 1,025, then we'll, what's the number? The other side. Oh, he's got 16, the money, he's gonna come on up. Now, some of the 23, this next guy, then 06, or 100, 100, six, I'm gonna have 6, I need 6, I'm at 75. Fine, 75, I'm gonna go 75, 75, okay, no 6, my quarter. They were back on site at 6. How much 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, then we have quarter half, and that's 75. I could do it. How much 675 is the 18 first, 675. How much 75, 7, 7, 7. How much 7? How much 7? We're gonna go 7, we're gonna go 7, 7, here we sold, right here. 675, one line, the big first, gentlemen. Here we go, here, 24, 2004. Share the line, 30 bucks. 9 bucks on the ground floor. He said 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. How much 7? You're gonna go 7, you're going 7, 6 and a half. Now 7, now a half, 7 and a half. I got 7 right there. 7 and a half. How about a half? How about a quarter? A quarter. Now a half. Now 75. Everyone cited 7 and a half, 75, 8, now a quarter. And the quarter back on side at 8, 8 and a quarter, now a half, now 75, 75, 9, 9 and a quarter. And the quarter, now, and the 75, and 1,000. and a quarter and a half, pounds of 50, 75, 1100 left. I'm about to have here now quarter, 11 a quarter, 11 a half, and 75, and 500, now a quarter, now a half, and 75, 13, now a half, 14, now a half, and a half, 14, 15, gotta go 50, 50, 50, 50, 15, now a half, over a half, I got 15 up front, 15 and a half, 16, no half. I got a half, 17, 17 and a half, 18, I'm at 18, no half, I'm 19, no half, and a half, and 2 grand, 2 grand. I'm not gonna go no half, and 1. I'm not 21, I'm gonna go 1, I'm gonna go 1 here, 21, and a half. Now 2. I'm at 22, 2 times. 22, okay, sign. I'm at 22, no half. 22 and a half, 3. I'm at 23, you're gonna get 23, hit another 23, 23, and we have no half, no half, no 4.
You got 23?
I got 23 and a half over here, 24, 24. I'm at 24, he's thinking about it. 24, 24, and we're going to sell it, time. 23, 50, number 8 is. And here we go. Hey, they don't have. For now, how the medics for the line, 30 bucks on 3 cars. Hey, they give you about 2 grand here in this one. Give me 2 grand? 1,000? 11. How much 11 here? Wow, we're gonna get 1 here, 13, 13. And 14, we're gonna get 14, 10, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, now 2 grand, now 2. How much 2? Give me half. Now 2, we're gonna get 2, 19 and a half here, 2 grand. I got 2. Now how much times is 50? And that's 15, now 100, that's 15, we're gonna go 50, 15, that's 50, 21 and a half. I'm a 21 and a half, 21 and a half, 2, 22, 2. I'm a 22, I'm gonna get 2, 22, then a half. I'm a half, he's 22 and a half, 23, and a half, and a half, 23, 50. I'm a 50, you gotta go 50, 50, and a 50, and a 50, right here, 4, 24, and a 50. And a 50, he came back at 24, and 24 and a half. I'm a 24, how about 50, you gotta go 50, 50, and a 5, 5, 25, another. 25 and a half, how about a half, 25 and a half, 25 here. How about 25 to 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, everybody else, 25 and a half, and now 6 and a half, and a half, I got 26 there, 26 and a half. How about 26 and a half? He likes the problem, what can I say? 26 out of the 50, 50, and a 7, 7, and a 50, you're gonna go 50, he still likes the problem. 27 and a half, okay, 27 is over there. I'm at 27, 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, 50, he says, no, I say so. At 2,700, number 8 is, all right, here we go with 5.6, and it runs, hold on, automatic, it runs this guy. I've moved the bucks, three and a half up the floor. I got 1 up 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, I got 4 right here.
You got 4?
I got 4, yes, sir. How about 4 and a half, quarter, half, 75. How about 75, you're gonna go 75, I come to another in a quarter. And a half, I'm gonna have 75, I'm gonna go 75. I'm 75 on mine, now 6, now quarter. I'm a quarter, now half, and I'm 75, I'm gonna go 75, 675, 6 and a half over here. How about 75 down here, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, 7 here, quarter here, 7 and a half, 75. How about 75, I'm gonna go 7, 75, 800 and a quarter, 825. I'm gonna 825, 825, 825, and we now have 75. I'm about 875, we're gonna have over here. How about 875, 875, now 900 and a quarter, 925, 9 is here. I'm at 9 and a quarter. And here's the one. 925, 9 and a half, 75, 975, 975, 975, $1,000, now a quarter. I'm a quarter, 10 here. I'm at 10 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, here we have a quarter, and now a half. And 75. I got a half, yes sir. 1075, 1075 left, 1100, now a quarter. I'm not 11 a quarter, what do you say? 11 a quarter, and a quarter, then we 11 a quarter, then we have solar tank. Oh, 1100, let's put it on number 8, 8, 9, 7, 5, 1, 2. Yeah, here we go. Four, five, 4.5 times, there go five. I've got five, now half, now six. How about six, 75, six, and a quarter, and a half. How about a half, you want a half? And a half, 75, seven, and a quarter, and a half, 75. How about 75, 800, now eight. Three, five. 800 and a quarter, and a half, 75. And 75, nine, and a quarter, and a half. Those are all good stuff inside. How about 9.5? 9.5, 75, 975, 975,000. How about thousand? And a thousand on the quarter here, give me quarter, and I have the 75. How about 75? Now 1100 and a quarter. How about 11 quarter and a half, 1100, 75, 100, now half, a quarter. Okay, now half. You guys are checking, huh? 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, what do you say? How about a half, 75, gonna go 75? 13, I got 1275, 13. We got the same line, 13 in the back, and a quarter, Charles, and a half, give me half, Charles, half. I got a quarter right there, 13 and a half, 75. How about 75? Now you're all. How about 1375? Now 14, 14, I agree. On site, 1375, 14, guys. How about 14? Hey, take first, take turn. How about 14? Here you go, 14, a quarter, now half, and a half, take first, right again. 14 and a half, now 75, then 15. How about 15? There you go, 15. How about 15? Hey, coach, your turn. 15, now half, 15 and a half, 16. How about 16? On site at 15 and a half, 16. How about 16? Now half. How about half? They did like old ladies, don't they? 16, 16 and a half. 16 had about 50 and we sold it online at 1600. Okay, fine. I don't know. Here's number 20, here's number 275. Number 9. Number 9 bucks. 215. I got three and a quarter, three and a half. I got a half, there, 50, 75, 400, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter. It's a quarter, 4.25. Yes, sir. And 4.25, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter. No, so we're done. So that's $400. Number 6 years. There we go. All right. All right, number 29, and 3. Hey, there it is. Here's the 2014 Chevy Traverse. Already fine, we got a little big right there in the front. Already fine, pack and good. How about $5 $4, $5, $5.5, quarter, half, 75, and 600 here in the quarter. And a quarter here, quarter, and 75, 700 and a quarter. And a quarter, one side at 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here, quarter, half, 75. How about 75, 75, 75? How about, come on, go bit like old ladies, let's go. How about 75, 800 and a quarter, 825, 800. How about 825, yes, sir. How about 825, 825, 825, and I want to sell it. $800 for number 4. Here's our 50. Here comes 4. Surgeon. All right, for our managed to okay, so how about 5? We said 4. 4 and a quarter, 4.5. They stretch going up. You get that right? I got 5, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, half. And 75. It was 75. He said that. 5, 75, 6. 1 and a quarter, now a half. 5 and a half, 6 and a 50. Now 75. It was 75, 6 and a half. 75, 7 and a quarter. And a quarter, I have 7 quarter here, half, that's both up. Up to 750, 75, 75 in the back. Now 800. I got 8, now quarter, 825, but a half, 850, 75, 875. 875, 9, a quarter, 925, 9 here, 9 and a quarter, now a half, half, now 75. Up to 75, now 1,000. And 1,000, 1,000 to go, 1,000 to go, 1,000 to go down here, just so nice. Not quarter, not half, not 75, no 11. How about 11, he's 10, 75. I need that 11 here, need that quarter, no half. Who's smoking? 11 and a half. there's not smoking for sale. You got 11 here, 11.5 on mine now, 75 pounds, 1200. How much $1200 in a quarter, and a quarter and a half, how much 12.5, each a quarter. I'm gonna do a quarter. I need a half, now 75, 13, so that's what we start going up. How much 13, gonna be 13, yes sir? 13, not 14. And a quarter, here's 13 up here, 13 a quarter, down here, now half. I do, and now a half, I'm a 13, 50. I'm a 13, I'm a 15, gonna go 50, 50, and line. Silverton for 1325, number 4. Right here, number 31. All right, guys, let's see here. Quarter, how do you what do you say on that one? What about 9 here, 9 to the right, 33.5, 4. How about 4, what about 3 and the 4, 75 over, 3, 75, solid. At $350 from a number 6 tomorrow. Here's from number 32, 92. So there are, I'm gonna pick up the you know how pretty good. He said, hey, we're gonna call it. How much we're gonna call it in the quarter and a half, and $75, $400, not for it, and a quarter. On the side of 40, huh? 75. And then 500, not quarter, D, quarter and a half, and then 75, we're gonna go 75. And now 600 and a quarter, and a quarter, on the side of 6 and a quarter. How much 6 and a quarter, yes or no, 6 and a quarter, and I, quarter, half, you speak like an old lady, 6 and a half, 75. How about 75, we got 6 and a half on site, 675, 675. Hey, old ladies, wake up, 675, no, sorry, one second, that's 6 and a half, I'm on the buyer, right, here we go. Now, 53, here comes a few times. Right? The sales in a row here. $400, another one, $30 to keep checking out. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. He's taking the food over, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, here we go. To 2,000 standardized. How you gonna give anybody 100? How much you got? 3, 3.25, 3.5? 3.5, 3.5, 75. How about 75? 40 down, 40 down, 75 down, 5. How about 5? Money to the back. 475. How about 45.5? 75 down, 6. How about 6? 6 down here now, 40 down, half. How about 6 and a half? 75 down, 7 now, quarter. And a quarter, back row at 7. 7 quarter. A quarter, and a half, that's 75. Now eat. How about eat? One is in the front, 775. Eat right there, not quarter. And a quarter, how about 825? 825, 800. How about 825? 825, and I silver thing. 800, $800. That's what your number is. You see my number? Number 113. I understand that, it's 34. It's a little too much, a little deal here. Figure the line here, do you got 900? I'm gonna make it about 3.25 half. 75, I'm gonna go 75, 375. How about 375, not 4, what? And number 4, not 4, to be the quarter. I have 4 down here, 4, not 4, not 4, down here, 4 and a half. And a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. I got 450, 450, 450, 50, 50, so, okay. 4.5, number 6 is the one that right here. Number 35 is upon 11. So the wrong 35%. Go, 5, 5.5, 5.5. How about 5.5 there, quarter and a half, the half on now, 75, and 6. How about 6? 10, quarter. And a half, 75, and 7. How about 7? 6, 7, 8, 7. How about 7? Okay, quarter and a half. I got a half, no 75. And 75 feet, 800 that quarter, 825. How about 825? 800 here, 8 and a quarter. And a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, silver thing. At 800, I'm very well. Here's number 36. It's 89, what do you do there, okay? You know how to manage, what do you say about you said three and a quarter. How much three and a quarter, three and a quarter. How much three and a quarter, no high, 350, really high. And no 75, we go 75. How much 75 $400 and a four and a quarter. On side at four, and a quarter, and a half, 75. How much 75? We're gonna go 475, 500 and a quarter. I'm a quarter over here at five, now a quarter here, need a half, now 75. I'm at 75, I'm gonna go 75, 600, now 6, what do you say? I'm at 600, down 600, we're gonna go 600 here, and I sort of that. Oh, 75, number 6 is alright, here we go, number 37. 84, this one, high. We got six bucks, we said two, two and a quarter, two and a half. How about a hundred, 250, 50, and 75, we're gonna go 75, 275. 75, three. How about three, he's 275 in the back, leave three, not quarter, no half. How about a half, three and a quarter back there, 350. How about 350 here's 75, not four. How about four, give me four, what do you say, 400. How much have we done? We need four, you're right, not quarter, 25, 50. And a 50, 50, 450, four and a quarter, four and a half. I'm up 450, 50, you're up 50, 50 now, 75, now five. I'm up five, one line's off. I'm up five, we got. I'm up 500 here, we sold it on site here at 475, buyer number 115, 115. Here's 38, here comes your. Let's see here, 400, no, my goodness. All right, we get about 800, we had about four and a quarter half. 50, 75, and a quarter. How about quarter? Need a quarter? A quarter and a half, five and a half, what about five and a half, 75? 75 cents, 600 and a quarter. And a quarter and a half, six and a half, 75, we go 75. How about 75? On site, six and a half. 675, we're gonna go 675, 75, here we, there's 650 right here in the middle, here's number 84. Here we go, number 39, here we go, six, Lexus, please, I got 250. All right, here we go, hot like time. And that's what happens when you drive too fast, you crash. All right, here we go, 400, now we pay you to get 800, 800 bucks, 400 bucks. I got five and a quarter, five and a half. It's 75. I'm at 75, I'm gonna go 75, I'm at 75. I'm at 75, I'm gonna go 75, 600. And now a quarter, 625, 26. I'm at six and a quarter here, give me a quarter, what do you say? A quarter, no, so. At 600, right, here we go, at 45, this one is 60. Or no, how to manage, hey, what are you doing now? Somebody had a buck. Somebody had a buck, 400 bucks. He said, quarter, one quarter. And a quarter and a half, or 50. And a 50, 50, 450, 450, what do you say? 50, not 75. How about 75? Got five, 500, not five, and a quarter. And a quarter, five at the back, five and a quarter. I'm not five and a quarter, and a quarter, and a half, 550, not 75. I'm gonna go 75. How about 75? By 75. And now six, 600 and a quarter, on site at six, need a quarter. How much quarter? Six and a quarter, need a quarter, guys. How much six and a quarter? Get around, six and a quarter, then I sold it about. For 600, and now there's number 115 is. It's a low four, so you have a one. Yeah. Hey, he was found about three and a half, he said, three and a quarter. I got 400 and a half, 50, not 75. And now, 500, here, need a quarter and a half. I got a half, 50, now 75, now six, now quarter, and a half, 75, now seven, now quarter, and a half, 75, now eight, 800, 775 in the back, I'll take eight. But they have numbers, 800, not 800 here, and I sold it then. 775, and one more. Here we go, next, 42. 96. So sorry, I missed 300 here. Here's a $100. 3, 6, 3, 4, 5. I got 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Need 6. I need 7. How about a half? How about a half? How about a quarter? Here's what she gets a 6, 6 and a quarter. 6 and a half. 6.75. 75, 7, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter. I got 7 here, 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter? And a quarter, and a quarter, quarter down here, very half. You want a quarter? No half. I got a hand 75, 75, 75, 775. How about 75, 75, 75 here? 100 now, and then a quarter, 45, reach over here. How about quarter, 45, there's over 45, 45, and I silver penny. 800, just there. That's what your number there. See the whole picture. 135, 135 is my, here's some, 3. This is 2016, BMW, 10-4, $200 on the key charge, okay? I do. They don't forget, the key charge is 200, okay? I got 15,000 to start. Anyway, I'll catch the computer up here. 15-1, 15-2, 3, 4, 5, here, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, here, 16, I got 16. I got 59, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm up 4. Come on, guys. Don't get back all these. 16, 3, 4. 16, 4, 5, 6, 16, 6, 16, 5, 16, 6, 16, 7, 16, 8. How about 16, 8, 16, 8, 16, 7, 16, 8, 9, 17, and 1. How about 17, 1? How about 17, 1? Right here should be 1. 17, 1? No? 17, 1?
You have 17-1 here?
Sold, no. Sold. Online, $17,000. All right, online, I'll take that one. All right, guys, thank you very much. Number 44, here comes the. Okay. All right, easy number 2 down. I got down to go on the muscle car. We said 5. 5.5. I got what's that? 3.5. You gotta be kidding. 4.5, 5. I got 5. 4 centimeters from 5. 5. I live down there on the 5 and a quarter. And on side of 5. 5 and a quarter. 5.5. 75. And 6. 6. I'm about 600. We're gonna go 6 and a quarter and a half and 75, 7 and a quarter. I'm a quarter, 7 and a quarter, quarter and a half, 750, 75, 775, 800. How much is it about? That roll, 70, 75, 800, 800, now 800 and a quarter, and a quarter, reach over here. How about a quarter? How about I make 25, 25, 25, how about I make 25 again, 800 and down there. All right, maybe over to number 45, as I look at it. That's good. If you forget, put the number, straps on the knives. 800, $800 to you right now. I got 3, 5, 6, 7. How about 7? He's left of me. Give me some. How about 6 and a quarter? 6, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter in the hand, 650, 50, right here now. 75, I'm going to go 75, 6 and a half. How about 675? How about 675, 675, 175, 27, and a quarter, 7 a quarter, quarter here in your turn, 7 a quarter, 7 a back. How about 7 a quarter and a quarter and a quarter down here, and I sold it tank, 700, 150, smile, here's number 46. All right, guys. Order how to manage, shake it around, how much they got about 3, take a quarter. How much they got a quarter and a quarter here, give me quarter for the same time. How about 15, you got 50, 50, 50, not 75. How about 75 now? So we here, 71 on line, not quarter, not quarter. And the quarter, quarter here, quarter down the half, there was 75. How about 75, quarter, 75, I got in the quarter. And the quarter, I was over here, need a quarter, not a quarter. How much quarter, need a quarter, be a quarter, do a quarter, and we have sort of thing. 500, number 8 is higher, 795, on the flip side, guys, okay? Everybody down here, big money. Very good time, your own taxi cab. And here we go, somebody get down, listen. I about time to go, one time to go, he said two, 2.5. I got 250, 50, 250, 50, 200, 2.5, three. Number three, he's 2.5 here, now three. He's got about 275, now three, not quarter. And a quarter, I got three and a quarter, 3.5. And a half, 350, 3 and a quarter is on the line, 3.5. I got 350, 50, 50, 75, not four. Now now quarter, there's a move up, a quarter, bring it back, and now a half, now 75, now five. I'm up five, shoot, this big one, somebody else.
$500 online.
Five, now a quarter, and a quarter, five is up here, 5.25, I'm up 5.25, no, we sold it. That $500, number six is the buyer. 95, here we got number 48, number seven. It's a little rough. Yeah, that should work right out. All right, here we go. Anybody 100. I'm a big about $400. I'm about $400. He said three, 3.25. I got 350. She said that one, this should get right to this tomorrow. I'm about 250, 75, we're gonna go 75, 3.5, 375. I'm about 375, four, on side of four, right here, 4.25. I'm about 4.25, right here, half, 4.5, 75. I'm about 75, he did that, 75, 5, I got 3.25. And a quarter, I'm 75, I'm a quarter, 5.5, 75. I'm at 75, we're gonna go 75, everybody's off. I'm up 5, 75, 75, 75, 6, 600. I'm a quarter, 6 over here now, 6.25. I'm at 6.25 right here, 650, not 75, we're gonna go 675. I'm at 75, we're gonna go 675, 75, and we have
75.
no 7, not quarter. A quarter and a quarter. Come on, guys. How about 7.25? I want to kick my beard. It's so cool. 7.25, not more. No? So on site. That's 700. Number 8 is number 40, number 20, automatic. What do you do here? $900. $900. You want five? He wants five. 5.5. I'm about 5.5. 5.25. 5.5.
Quarter.
75. And 6, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a half, so kind of got 50, 75. I'm at 75, gonna go 75, $700, not quarter. I'm a quarter, hey, back to 7.25. I'm at 7.25, right here, a half, over here, 50, not 75. I'm at 7.75, 7.5 back. I'm at 75, 75,
You
nope.
got half?
I got a half, right there, so I think.
Hold on.
75, 8,
Yeah.
800, the computer hung up, I got 8 on site, and a quarter.
There you go.
And a quarter, we're on site at 8 now, 8.25. I'm at 8.25, and we,
You're good, sir.
so, at 800 now, US number 115 is the buyer. Okay. All right, here we got number 50, here's a 97. If you go in your turn, so you must have 5, you said 3.25, half, 74.
Four.
I'm up over, a quarter here, a quarter, what do you do? 4.25, 400. I'm up over 50.
Yeah.
And then 75, we go 75, 100 here, 5.75, 5, and a quarter. And a quarter here, quarter, now, I'm at half of that, 50, now 75. But 75, we're gonna go 575, now 600, and a quarter, 6 over there, 6.25. I'm at 6.25, and a quarter here, then around half, quarter, now half, and now 75. I'm at 75, we're gonna go 75, 675. 675, 675. No, so that's 6.5, 115, 650, 115, here, 151, that's a CS. All right, 415, right, then we found about, he said 3.25. Over 3 here, need a quarter, half. I got a half, 3.15, I got 50, 15, Sunday, not over, $400, not over, what do you say, not quarter. And quarter, 4.25, 4.75. I'm at 75, I got to not 5, not quarter. and a quarter, 5 over here, 5.5, okay, and then 75, gotta go 75, now 75, 6, 600. I'm gonna say, cut it out, give you 6, what do you say, 6, and a quarter, and a quarter, I'm gonna give you, child support, and a quarter, 6 here, 6 and a quarter. Quarter, half, let's go, half, 75.
You got half?
I do. How about 6 and a half? 79. How about 75? There goes 75, 675.
Got it.
7's on site, now a quarter. How about quarter, 7 here, you need a quarter. That would stretch it all right now. How about 7 and a quarter here, and we have sort of 10. 700 to 111, yes, right? Here comes 52 cars. It's here, it's 3. Right, 400, and then 900, and then 40%. Line here, 9 of those, I got 34, 50, 75. How about 75? I got half over here. How about 75? We're gonna go through 75, and a 4, and a quarter. And a quarter, 125, and a quarter, and a quarter. One side and a quarter. I'm up 4 and a quarter, and we have soda tank at 400 an hour. I put them on number 8 to buy. Hey, man, thanks for coming out tonight, appreciate it. Don't forget, next Thursday, we'll do it all over again, so come see us, okay? Very good. Get your cars paid for, get them out of the yard, and, don't forget, we'll open up, that buyers will open up 8 AM tomorrow, come on in, settle up, get your cars up by 12 noon, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, there goes the end of the screen.